Prime Field.
What if UConn's next great shooter isn't a 5-star American freshman, but a 20-year-old French guard who's already been taking pro closeouts, international pressure, and grown woman contact? Marine Dursus, 177 centimeters, roughly 5'9" to 5'10", a verified French shooting guard, Angers Club experience, FIBA resume, EuroCup production, and a jumper that is flash serious, so do not leave her open energy. So here's the debate. Is Dursus the exact type of perimeter weapon UConn needs in the post-Azzi Fudd era? Or are fans getting way too excited about an international name that has not been officially connected to UConn? Because if Geno really is looking overseas for a plug-and-play shooter, this is the profile that makes the argument very interesting. Today we're breaking this down like a real hoops debate, not a fan fiction commitment video. We're going to hit 4 things. First, what Marine Dursus actually is as a player, the verified resume, the shooting numbers, the international profile. Second, why UConn's roster math after Azzi Fudd makes this type of player so valuable. Third, the risk side, including the injury chatter, the lack of confirmed UConn recruitment, and whether Euro production translates to stores. And fourth, the bold prediction. If she ever did land in that system, could she become UConn's most reliable volume 3-point threat within one season? Important disclaimer right up front. There is no reliable public confirmation that Dursus is committed to UConn, signed with UConn, or is officially being pursued by UConn. So this video is about the basketball fit and the strategic idea, not reporting a done deal. Now let's cook. Marine Dersus is not some mystery mixtape name. She's a French guard born in 2005, listed by FIBA at 177 centimeters, and identified as a shooting guard with Union Feminine Angers basket, 49. And here's where the intrigue starts. She's not just playing against high schoolers. She's been in European club environments, FIBA youth tournaments, and EuroCup competition. That matters because the reads are different, the spacing is different, the closeouts are different. You're not just beating teenagers with burst, you're learning how to get shots off against adults who know the scouting report. At the 2025 FIBA U20 Women's Eurobasket, Dursus averaged 13.8 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 1.8 assists, shooting 54.8% from the field, 42.9% from 3, and 81% at the line. That is not empty volume chucking. That is efficient international production. In 2025 to 26 EuroCup play, she averaged 10.9 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 2.1 assists over 8 games. In French League play for Angers, she averaged 9.9 points in 16 games. The profile is clear. Not a finished superstar, not a guaranteed lottery-level player, but a young guard with verified production in serious basketball settings. And that brings us to the UConn problem. UConn just watched Azzi Fudd go 1 overall in the 2026 WNBA draft. That is not just losing a name. That is losing one of the cleanest shot profiles in college basketball. Fudd finished her UConn career at 42.2% from 3, and in the 2025-26 season, she made 117 threes at 44.7%. You do not replace that by saying, everybody take 2 more shots. That kind of spacing changes the geometry of the floor. It gives Sarah Strong room to operate. It punishes doubles. It makes late clock offense less stressful. And it forces defenders to make bad decisions. Now UConn still has talent. Sarah Strong was dominant. 18.4 points, 7.7 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and over 40% from 3. Allie Ziebel shot it well. KK Arnold and Ashlyn Shade bring guard experience. But here's the debate. Does UConn have a true high-volume movement shooting perimeter threat ready to absorb the pressure Azzi left behind? This is where a Dursus-type player becomes fascinating. She does not need to be sold as the next Azzi. That would be unfair. But as a complementary shooter who can run off screens, relocate, space the weak side, and hit catch-and-shoot looks, that is exactly the archetype UConn's offense can weaponize. And honestly, this is where the Euro sniper pivot idea makes sense. UConn has always developed great guards. That is part of the brand. But the modern game is different. The portal is different. NIL is different. International pathways are different. And if you can find a 20-year-old who has already played in professional settings, why wait 3 years for a freshman to maybe become comfortable? The pro-Dursus argument is simple. Her skill set translates. Not because she is European, not because international players are smarter. Let's not get lazy. It translates because her strengths line up with what UConn asks from perimeter players. You have to move without the ball. You have to screen. You have to cut with timing. You have to shoot when your window is open, not after 3 rhythm dribbles. You have to defend in a system where one missed rotation gets you immediately pulled and stared into another dimension by Geno. Dursus checks a lot of those boxes on paper. She has shown strong shooting indicators. 42.9% from 3 at the 2025 U20 Eurobasket. basket, reliable free throw numbers, and double-digit scoring production in EuroCup. Free throws matter, by the way. If a player shoots above 80% at the line, that often says the jumper is real, even when three-point percentage fluctuates. And the size matters too. At 177 centimeters, she is not tiny. She can play through contact. She has enough frame to survive physical college guards. She does not project as someone who needs 2 years in a college weight room just to stay on the floor. That is the key difference. A high school phenom might have the higher ceiling, but a European pro-style guard might have the higher floor on day one. And for a UConn team trying to win immediately, floor matters. Now here's where we pump the brakes. First, no confirmed UConn recruitment, no official visit report, no signing, no commitment. So any sentence that says Dursus is UConn's target needs to be treated as speculation unless a trusted source confirms it. Second, international stats do not translate perfectly. The three-point line, role, pace, teammates, coaching style. All of that changes. A player can shoot 42% in a tournament and still need time adjusting to NCAA pressure, travel, scouting, and the emotional chaos of being at UConn, where every miss becomes a message board event. Third, the injury piece is murky. There has been discussion around a foot fracture timeline, but without reliable public medical updates, you cannot responsibly say she has a clean bill of health or that she's ready for summer workouts in stores. That is not reporting, that is guessing. So the responsible version of the take is this. Dursus is an intriguing theoretical fit for UConn's needs, but the public evidence does not support presenting her as a confirmed roster solution. And that matters, because fans hear Eurosniper and immediately start building starting lineups. But coaches are looking at medicals, eligibility, personality fit, role acceptance, defense, and whether the player can process the offense at UConn speed. So here's my bold but careful prediction. If Marine Dersus ever joined UConn in this window, I would not predict her to be the star immediately. Sarah Strong is still the engine. The offense still runs through the proven core, but I would predict this. Within one season, Dursus could become one of the most trusted catch-and-shoot options on the roster, maybe the most reliable pure movement shooter if her international efficiency holds. Not because she is guaranteed to be better than the American guards, but because her experience profile is different. She has already had to find shots in structured physical adult basketball. That is valuable. The real question is philosophical. Does UConn keep leaning on the traditional model? Recruit elite American guards, develop them over multiple seasons, and trust the system? Or does Geno start mixing in more international pro-season players who can fill very specific roster needs right now? Because in the post-Page, post-AZ era, the Huskies do not just need stars. They need spacing. They need shooting gravity. They need players who can punish every double team Sarah Strong sees. Marine Dursus may or may not be the name that solves it, but the archetype makes a ton of sense. So now I want the debate in the comments. Would you rather UConn take a swing on a 20-year-old French pro-style shooter or keep that spot for a 5-star American freshman with more long-term upside? And be honest, if Dursus shot 39 or 40% from 3 in a UConn jersey, would you start her? Like the video, subscribe for more women's hoops breakdowns, and vote in the poll below.
Prime Field